Now on CoastTV News.
An update on the overpass, what this project will look like once it is complete.
A Halloween party turns deadly. We have new details about a murder in Selbyville. A second chance in the courts, how you can clear your name if need, and the consequences aren't what you think. Trick or treat, the purpose of this fun and festive White House event and where kids can collect candy on Delmarva tomorrow.
And we're tracking some rain right now, making its impact throughout Delmarva, and this is the beginning of the end of all that beautiful warm weather. Here comes the cold.
This is CoastTV News at 11.
The Route 16 and 1 overpass is starting to take shape. Good evening, I'm Mallory Metzner. Charlie Sakaitis has the night off. Welcome to our news at 11. We begin tonight with work on an intended fix on the roads. Right now, DelDOT says the project is not facing any delays, but some neighbors are a bit mixed on how helpful this new addition will be. Coast TV News' Charles Reinert shows us how the project is going and what the finished product will look like.
This rise off the roadway is the early stages of the overpass being built at Route 16 and Route 1. The roadwork is currently building the bridge cars will be taking southbound on Route 1 over Route 16. DelDOT says this project aims to make a dangerous intersection safer.
The Route 1 and 16 intersection was really the intersection where we saw the highest number of crashes in any stretch of Route 1 from Milford to Lewis. So it was really of critical importance that we address that longstanding safety issue there.
DelDOT says the construction really began to ramp up at the beginning of the year. There have been multiple traffic realignments as crews continue to break ground, but the agency says there will not be another traffic change until next summer. Carrie Martin lives right by the intersection and is looking forward to the final product.
I do know it has been dangerous, actually, personally too as well. So I think that once it's done, yes, it's going to prevent there from being a lot more accidents and things going on there.
I did speak with one person today who did not want to get on camera, but they were more skeptical on the finished product of this overpass, saying that they didn't think it would fix a very bad speeding problem on Route 1.
The price tag for this overpass is $23 million.
The overpass is expected to be completed sometime in late 2025. I'm Charles Reiner in Milton, Coast TV News.
Taking a live look outside into our dry tech camera at the Embers in Ocean City, you can see those raindrops on the lens blurring our image here. And it is colder outside now. It appears that our summer-like fall weather is coming to an end. Our First Alert Chief Meteorologist Paul Williams joins us with a look at the forecast tonight. Good evening, Paul.
Good evening, Mallory. I think I'll put it this way. The warm weather has broken up with us. So we're back to being single and cold, okay? That's what's happening for us. We're hoping a Boardwalk Plaza camera. Right now we have scattered showers and we expect the temperature to stay in the 50s throughout the rest of this evening with scattered showers and light rain. Enough rain to make it annoying and colder feeling. But today we actually broke another record, got up to 81 degrees. We broke the old record set in 1946. And the bottom line here is that we're looking at the rain that's tracking across for right now. Now, we're not expecting for the rain to stick around for long. We do have the small craft advisory that is still active in our area. And the cold front's already pushed through. So here comes the colder air. And it's going to come in with ferociousness. We'll talk about that in your full forecast. Till then, back to you, Mallory.
Thank you, Paul. New tonight, we have an update on a murder after a Halloween party over the weekend. Delaware State Police have released the identity of a woman who died. The agency says 21-year-old Abriana Ingram of Milford was shot and killed. According to troopers, it happened in the parking lot of a strip mall Saturday night in Selbyville. When police arrived, they say multiple cars were driving off. A 30-year-old woman was also treated for a gunshot wound. The unknown suspect escaped. Police are still investigating. Early investigative efforts say the fight started inside the building, continued outside in the parking lot. That's where both women were shot, and they were not involved in the fight and were caught in the crossfire. The Laurel School District says its schools are able to safely reopen tomorrow after being closed today due to a shooting over the weekend. A teenage boy was killed and 2 others were shot on West 7th Street in Laurel Sunday afternoon. Delaware State Police says an 18-year-old was shot and killed. Police say 2 other teenage boys ages 13 and 15 were both shot in the leg. Troopers say they are currently in stable condition after receiving medical treatment. Police say the 3 boys were sitting on a porch when 2 people ran up and shot them before running away. Authorities believe this is an isolated incident and there's no immediate threat to the public at this time as they continue to search for the suspects. 11 people were hurt following a school bus crash this morning in Easton. You can see from our Coast Copter, this is the accident. This is in the area of Route 328 and Three Bridges Branch Road. According to Maryland State Police, a car driven by a teenager did not stop at a stop sign at the intersection and ran into the side of a Caroline County public school bus. Troopers say 9 children on the bus, the teen driver, and the school bus driver were all taken to local hospitals for treatment. The crash remains under investigation. Happening tomorrow, the Maryland General Assembly Accessory Dwelling Unit Policy Task Force will hold its second meeting. The purpose of the task force is to study the placement of accessory dwelling units for single-family residential use. The goal of the group is to develop policy recommendations and study the potential impacts on surrounding neighborhoods. The meeting will take place Tuesday, October 31st from 9 a.m. to noon. The public can attend on Zoom and registration can be found on the task force's website. The Delaware court system will hold a safe surrender event in Dover. The goal is to give those with outstanding warrants a safe time and place to resolve their issues and receive favorable consideration from judges. More than half a dozen judges and courtrooms will be set aside in the Kent County Courthouse on Friday, November 3rd. Public defenders, prosecutors, police, and probation officers will all be on hand to help people clear any outstanding warrants. Though this is being held in Kent County, the event is open to anyone. Toll Road between Shirley's Road and Wooden Hawk Road in Greenwood is closed right now due to a road pipe installation. DelDOT says the road will be closed for pipe work until Tuesday, November 7th. Detours are posted on these roads for drivers. The Department of Agriculture says tomorrow is the last day for interested farmers to enroll their property as a farmland preservation district for the 2024 preservation funding. The Department of Agriculture says the Delaware Agricultural Lands Preservation Foundation received $10 million to preserve farms. Officials say owners who enroll their land may submit an offer to permanently preserve their land as early as next year. The Israeli military is intensifying its ground offensive and airstrikes as ground forces push deeper into Gaza. From just outside Gaza, near Israel's border, cameras capture rockets hitting and sparking a fire. Deep strikes that could potentially collapse Hamas tunnels. This as Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu rejects calls for a ceasefire, vowing to take down Hamas. According to the Gaza Health Ministry, the death toll among Palestinians is now more than 8,000. The last holdout in the longest U.S. auto strike in 25 years now appears to be on board and reaching a tentative deal with auto workers after nearly 2 months. Karen Kaifa has a look at what the end of the strike means for the car industry and consumers.
An unprecedented strike appears to be ending. On Monday, GM and the United Auto Workers Union appeared to have reached a tentative agreement, according to a source familiar with negotiations. The move ends nearly 7 weeks of an unprecedented strike against the Detroit Big Three automakers, GM, Ford, and Chrysler owner Stellantis. A total of nearly 50,000 workers walked out of their jobs during some part of the strike, demanding better benefits and pay, citing the auto industry's record corporate profits.
We haven't had a raise in years. We've been given and given and given.
While the exact terms of the deal have not yet been released, it is expected to be along the lines of the deals already announced at Ford and Stellantis, including guaranteed pay increases and the return of cost of living adjustment, which combined would lift workers' pay more than 30%. Monday's move comes 2 days after the union expanded the picket line to GM's engine plant in Spring Hill, Tennessee. Last Wednesday, the union announced a deal with Ford, and on Saturday, it announced a deal with Stellantis.
For every member, the money will be significant. For many members, it will be life-changing.
So what does this mean for the auto industry and for consumers? The long labor strike hurt the automakers financially. A prolonged dispute would create a painful domino effect that would trickle down to vehicle part suppliers, car dealers, and eventually to you, even if you're not in the market for a car. That's because experts say it could have led to fewer cars on lots and made it harder for shops to repair your car. For Consumer Watch, I'm Karen Kafa.
President Joe Biden hosted a trick-or-treat event at the White House tonight on Halloween Eve. Local public school students and military-connected children were invited. Children gathered in lines on the South Lawn dressed as their favorite characters. This year's theme was Hallow Read, created by Jill Biden, encouraging children to pick out their favorite Halloween book. And here on Delmarva, Halloween night 2023 is looking like a pretty sweet night in many coast towns with varying hours set to collect candy. Milton's night of trick-or-treating is on Halloween starting at 6 and running until 8 p.m. The same time goes for trick-or-treating in Lewis on Kings Highway. In Rehoboth Beach, there will be trick-or-treat off the street at all 3 Tanger Outlet centers. Kids under 12 can participate from 5 to 7 p.m. Again, these dates are all this Tuesday, tomorrow, October 31st. And that brings us to our Coast TV poll. We want to know, when do you dress up for Halloween? Let's take a look at the results here. Just 7% say on Halloween weekend, 8% say on Halloween itself, 43% say both, 42% say they don't dress up. I would say Halloween weekend is a good option if, Halloween is on a Tuesday, so if you can't do anything for it tomorrow, you could have celebrated over the weekend. If you haven't voted yet, you can still share your thoughts with us at coasttvnews.com or on our mobile app. Well, we are just getting started tonight. A spooky finale to October planned for tomorrow, the Ghost Tale 2 set sail in Ocean City.
And we're keeping a close eye on the rain. It's already pulling through. It's post-frontal rain. And this cold front, this is what we call a real game changer. By the way, get out your winter coats.
But first, cracks on the streets in Rehoboth, why businesses say improvements are needed. We'll be back in just 60 seconds.
Wherever you're headed this fall, there's a Ford SUV ready to take you there. With advanced tech, spacious interiors, and impressive off-road capabilities, you'll discover why more people keep coming back to Ford SUVs than any other brand. Right now, get 2.9% financing for 60 months plus up to $1,750 on select Ford SUVs, only at your local Ford dealer.
I'm ready for this ride.
This is Coast TV News at 11.
Updating the streets and sidewalks of the nation's summer capital, the Wilmington-Baltimore Avenue Streetscape project was first introduced back in 2021. The city says the project will fix street conditions, move above-ground wires underground, make all sidewalks ADA compliant, and help the flow of traffic. One business owner on Baltimore Avenue told Coast TV she hopes the project will make these avenues more noticeable to the public.
A lot of people that frequent Rehoboth Avenue aren't aware that this charming street is just one block back from them, one side street back from them. So I think this project can only improve the aesthetically pleasing atmosphere that already exists here, and then in part also bring more customers back to Baltimore Avenue.
The city says the project is currently in the planning stage and they hope to have an update on the project at the end of the year or beginning of the new year. According to the mayor, the project could cost up to $50 million. Happening now, as part of its ongoing traffic and parking study, Rehoboth Beach is conducting a survey. The survey is available on the city's digital engagement platform, Reach Out Rehoboth. According to the city, the survey is designed to determine people's opinions relating to space allocation, congestion concerns, and comfort level with walking and biking in the downtown area. The survey will close November 26th, and results will be shared with commissioners during a December 4th workshop meeting. Also happening now in Rehoboth Beach, the city's contractor is repairing and filling cracks on a few streets in the area. Work is taking place at Hickman Street from State Road to Stokely, Munson Street from State Road to Scarborough, along Laurel Street, and Philadelphia Street from King Charles to the boardwalk. Streets will be closed to through traffic while the work is taking place. No parking signs will be posted in some spots. Homeowners will still have access on these local streets. The holiday season will be here before we know it, and that means the return of Draper Media's Bless Our Children campaign. Through generous donations from businesses and individuals, we do our best to make sure every child has a present to open Christmas morning. We do that by supporting nonprofits that handpick families in need. Applications, they're due tomorrow.
Take a look at the next 12 hours. We're expecting for it to continue to stay on the rainy side for really the next few hours. Now, the winds are pushing primarily out of the north, gusting between 12 to up to 19 miles per hour, and 24 miles per hour at the Indian River Inlet, by the way. So we're looking for it to stay pretty active as far as the winds are concerned, and that cold air that's going to begin to step into the fray. I'm taking a look at courtesy of our camera here. And I thought it would pop up for us, but I guess it just isn't. But the forecast will anyway. We're looking for temperatures staying in the 50s with scattered showers, hit-and-miss spot showers continuing to be the case for us from 1 to 3 o'clock in the morning. Now, today, we set another record high at 81 degrees in Georgetown. That's right. We surpassed the old record of 80. And listen, we're at 82 in Ocean City and 81 in Salisbury. So we had record highs all over the place. And we've been trending sky high for the last 5 days in a row. You know, you almost forgot that it's October. But fear not, my friend, for Mother Nature will give us a wake-up call. And actually, she's already starting to dial the number, even as we speak right now, for that wake-up call. Scattered showers have already pushed throughout portions of WRDE and Milton, because RDE is located in Milton. Scattered showers sliding its way right now, present throughout portions of Rehoboth Beach all the way down towards Ocean View. We're looking at light to moderate showers for right now. Nothing that's heavy. We had a coastal flood statement that was actually active until 7 o'clock this evening. That now subsided. The cold front's pushing through and the cold air stepping in right behind it, folks. And it's pretty serious. Now, as far as tonight is concerned, you only need an umbrella for tonight. You might want long sleeve because if you're cold-natured like Mallory, because she's already telling me she doesn't like how cool it feels. Okay, maybe you need long sleeves if you're cold-natured like Mallory. But listen, it feels like the 50s right now across the board. But look at how it's changed just 24 hours ago. We're 15 degrees cooler. Yeah, in Ocean City, and 9 to 10 degrees cooler just about everywhere else. Let's take a look at our expectations with the forecast. You see, the winds are going to start knifing, and I do mean knifing, out of the north with a couple of spot showers. That combination is going to make for a wet, cold breeze. Initially, I didn't think we'd have to deal with much rain for Halloween night. I have to change that a little bit because we're looking at that rain that's going to stick around until Tuesday evening along the coast. So plan on the rain sticking around, folks. I'm sorry. I tried to do my best and finesse it, but it just didn't happen for us. All that being said, here's a look at your forecast for Halloween. We're looking for chilly winds, temperatures in the 40s. Yeah, chilly winds indeed, but also we're going to watch out for a chance of scattered showers in the forecast. All right, here's a look at your forecast for today. There goes your 7-day forecast. Rain on Halloween and then cold like crazy till we get to the weekend.
Thank you, Paul. A spooky forecast there with that temperature drop. This land in Milford could transform into a park, while those who live near the farmland believe the park could bring chaos. Cars driving on a busy Route 113. Just ahead on Coast TV News at 11, the changes the city of Milford wants to make on the roadway.
At Atlantic General Hospital, we've been busy. Busy expanding healthcare services that are second to none in our region. From cancer care and women's health services to orthopedics, gastroenterology, and more, we provide advanced health technologies delivered by top providers. Expert care every day. It's what you can count on from Atlantic General Hospital.
Hi, it's Peter Guida, and on this episode of McQueen Classics, we're going to define what a classic car is. Any car 25 years or older, 1997 and below. So if it's languishing in your garage, we're going to come get it. We're going to turn it into cash. We're going to help you sell it. Seriously, we're going to come get it. It's time for the ride of your dreams from McQueen's. Behind the new Redners on Route 9 in Lewis.
I love my basement. It's my space, where I can get things done. Peace and quiet, privacy. Sometimes I work pretty late after my wife goes to bed.
Babe? Hey, babe?
Oh. Yeah?
Is there any water in the basement?
No, honey, everything's fine down here. No water. I don't see any water anywhere.
Dry Zone can keep your basement safe and dry for all of your hobbies. Life can be scary. Your basement doesn't have to be. Contact us today.
If you commute through Milford, it could get slower. The city of Milford is asking DelDOT to rejoin plans for improvements along Route 113. Milford originally denied participating in 2007 because they did not feel the work was necessary. But since growth has expedited in the last few years, Milford is desperate to gain control over the influx in traffic.
It happened before, it would have probably been easier, but you didn't have the growth you had either back 2005, 2006. Growth started coming probably 2010 up to present.
DelDOT says it has begun to look back at some of the proposed solutions from 2007 to see if any of which could be applicable to today's Route 113 corridor. However, the road work cannot begin without a public consensus. Milford is moving forward with plans to build a park on the former Sharp Farm across from South Rehoboth Boulevard. The park has been approved by the city to have 72 parking spaces, a playground, walkways, a bike path, and multi-use fields. However, people in the surrounding neighborhood are concerned about a number of things with the park coming, including light pollution, noise, and safety.
We want to make sure that the police are checking this out constantly, because it's a good ways down. We just want it safe. We have a lot of little children in this development.
Economic Development Administrator Sarah Bloom tells CoastTV News that engineers working on the project will work on the site plans to present to the county. She says there's no expected date as to when that could be. Toyota is recalling more than 750,000 Highlander SUVs, including hybrid versions, over a bumper issue. Toyota says a minor impact could cause mounting tabs to detach, causing parts to fall off and create a driving hazard on the road. The recall includes Highlanders from the model years 2020 to 2023. Toyota says it will notify affected owners directly by late December. Coming up in sports, a thriller in boys soccer in the first day as Milford tries to knock off the undefeated Delcastle. But first, an uptick in ESL classes in Sussex County, how these classes are changing students' lives.
When adventure calls, answer in a Toyota RAV4. Equipped for a range of capability, ample cargo space, and to keep you connected. Right now, buy a RAV4 with low APR financing. Toyota, let's go places.
Life is a commitment, a beautiful journey that teaches us all that just when you think you've got it made, you've got another thing coming. To which we say, bring it on. You've got a heart that needs a hand. We've got hands committed to saving hundreds of hearts each year. You want your life back? We've got your back, and your hips, and your knees. You're facing a monster? We've got heroes. Life gets off to a rough start? We've got this, and this. You have fear, we have hope. You're facing a storm, Hey, Storm, is that all you got? Because we've got more. More ways to help, more ways to provide hope, more ways to prove our commitment to you. And that commitment, well, it runs deep.
Take a bite out of high car payments during the monster sale at Pohanka Toyota.
Have no fear about switching to an electric in a new BZ4X at 1.9% financing for 48 months.
New Tacoma pickups at 2.9% and Corolla and RAV4 at 3.99%. Plus, Pohanka Toyota will give you a monstrous offer for complimentary maintenance on new and pre-owned vehicles. So, don't be left out in the dark. Get to the monster sale at Pohanka Toyota in Salisbury.
Farmers are superheroes, true conservationists. We are using soil health practices to help fight climate change. Soil health farmers are working today to protect tomorrow, using regenerative agriculture and climate-smart practices like no-till and cover crops to improve soil health. Healthy soils sequester carbon, improve water quality, and produce sustainable, nutrient-rich food. Soil health farmers are working today to keep Delmarva a beautiful place for generations to come.
Enrollment for English as a second language classes has doubled from the 2022 school year for Sussex Technical Adult Education. Telemundo Delmarva and CoastTV News reporter Ana Sofia Roman shows us how these classes are changing students' lives.
Lindsay Thompson has been an English as second language teacher since 2008, helping people from other countries transition to their life here.
I know some of them have jobs that they don't love, and if they could just improve their English proficiency, they could take career programs.
One of Thompson's 24 students, Jean Fides Blanc, speaks Haitian Creole, French, and Spanish. He is happy to be learning a fourth language.
I like to learn English. I want to speak English more because I want to a new job. I want to talk with every people in the United States.
This year, all the classes are full, and there's also a 300-person waiting list for students that want to get into ESL classes.
We have people coming into our office every day wanting to sign up for English classes, and it breaks my heart that we can't help all of them.
Thompson has a message for those who are learning a new language.
Sometimes it can be embarrassing when you're learning a new language. You don't want to speak to native speakers because, again, it just seems very difficult. But I want in the classroom for the students to feel like they can safely try this new language.
Changing students' lives through language. In Seaford, Ana Sofia Roman, Coast TV News.
Sussex Tech is trying to apply for different grants to try to secure more funding so that they can open more sections. The 2024 to 2025 school choice application period in the Indian River School District runs from November 6th to January 10th. The district says all applications must be submitted online with options in English and Spanish. Decisions on grades K through 12 start on February 26th. Kindergarten students must pre-register with their home school before applying. According to the district, parents can request 3 school choices online and apply separately for each child. Existing Indian River School District school choice students in 5th or 8th grade need a new application for the next building level.
The Delmarva Sports Network from the Wawa Studios.
Good evening, sports fans. Milford boys soccer looking for win number 11 and a big confidence boost to close out the regular season as they face the undefeated Del Castle tonight. Less than 10 minutes in, Del Castle pushing it up the right side. Pedro Gonzalez-Finesca crosses it to Diego Pedroza Luna. He does a great job playing it off a tough bounce, finds the back of the net. Cougars up 1-0. Later in the half, still 1-0. Soft hit ball toward net. Looks like Del Castle will be able to stop it, but some miscommunication allows it to get loose, and Friedley Napoleon cleans up the mess. A big break for the Bucks to knot it up at 1 at the break. 5 minutes into the second, Bradley Zavala with some good moves to maintain possession, then crosses it in. Anthony Hotera Perez puts it in, just a ridiculous pass and a great vision to set up the go-ahead Cougar goal. But Milford would not wait long to answer. Less than 2 minutes later, a Milford corner is headed out, but it goes right to a speeding Rakemler Ramirez-Arriga, who fires it in for the goal. Bucks tie it up yet again, and they aren't done. 2 minutes later, Thompson Burke with a well-placed pass right out in front for Napoleon. Hits high over the goaltender. Del Castle can't get it out. Milford starts to celebrate. Hold on a second. The officials come together to discuss, and they grant it. Bucks up 3-2. Less than 5 to go. Zavala with possession had a great setup pass earlier in the game and has another one into Pedroza Luna here, and he finishes it for a tie ball game. It looks like it could go to overtime, but with 2 minutes to go, Milford creates some momentum. Emmanuel Joseph sends in, and a bouncing ball gets past the keeper. Milford defeats Del Castle 4-3. That'll do it for sports. Have a great night, everybody.
Happy Halloween Eve. Trick or Treat is tomorrow in communities on Delmarva. Georgetown and Millsboro are both welcoming trick-or-treaters from 6 to 8 p.m. The Delmar High School Key Club is hosting a trick-or-treat event at the school tomorrow from 6 to 8 p.m. That's geared for kids 12 and under. And that brings us back to our Coast TV poll. We want to know, when do you dress up for Halloween? Take a look at the screen here. It looks like we have 7% say they dress up on Halloween weekend. That makes sense this year since Halloween's on a Tuesday. 8% say on Halloween itself. 43% say both. That's great. And 42% say they don't dress up at all. If you haven't voted yet, you still can on CoastTVnews.com or on our mobile app. And with that, how about a spooky story time? The ghost tales you can hear in Ocean City tomorrow. Stay tuned on Coast TV News at 11.
NBC Nightly News. Weeknights at 6:30 on Coast TV.
I should change my name to Superwoman. It's not easy to protect them all, especially at back-to-school time. Everyone seems to be damaged, broken, and with some leaks. But I'm not worried. A visit to your Doc's Inn for school physicals fixes everything, especially when you don't have to wait. You just show up. They make it easy. Now we're ready for school. Here we go. Your Doc's Inn. Feel better faster. The school is waiting.
The world's #1 selling farm tractor. Easy to operate and more powerful than your average tractor. Mahindra tractors. Push more, pull more, lift more. With more torque and lower engine maintenance, Mahindra tractors are rugged and tough. We know how much you love your land, so we want you to love your tractor. Get your next Mahindra tractor today. Southern States of Milford, improving farming and improving life. Rooted since 1948.
Coastal Delmarva has so much going on.
Food, friends, fun, and more.
Why don't we just show you?
Coast Life. Weekdays at 4 on Coast TV.
Transform your outdoor space with Backyard Works. We are Sussex County's one call for all your fence, deck, handrail, pergolas, shower, and trash enclosure needs. Locally owned and operated, we make all our vinyl and aluminum fence right here in Harbison, Delaware, from American-made manufacturers. Cut out the middleman and deal direct. As a TimberTech Platinum Deck dealer, our trained team will professionally install your deck that will last a lifetime. Give us a call and let us make your backyard work.
From the pitch to your living room, high school soccer lives here on the Delmarva Sports Network. Local teams, big dreams. Get live radar and severe weather alerts. Download the free Coast TV First Alert Weather app. Brought to you by Paul Davis Restoration and Home Remodeling.
You've kept me here for months. Now what?
New case. There has to be a trail.
You want my expertise?
You think you're in control, but you're not.
Found Tuesday on NBC and streaming on Peacock.
What a better way to celebrate Halloween than with some ghost stories. The Ocean City Life-Saving Museum says an actor will share ghost stories from the sea tomorrow by taking on the role of an 1883 shipwreck victim. Enter if you dare to hear the story tomorrow from 10 a.m. to noon with paid admission. I don't know.
That actually looks interesting.
That sounds like something you would like.
I actually would like that. That actually looks kind of cool, actually. Another thing that's real cool, one of our umbrellas from Paul Davis Tammy Mann is now the new winner in Salisbury. Congratulations to her. And as we begin to take a look at what's happening with the rain right now, scattered showers will continue to push its way through. Some heavier showers now beginning to impact the Ocean Pines area. But we have the small craft advisory that's active until Tuesday. But generally speaking, we've had the cold front to push through, and the cold air that's causing the freeze and frost advisories up here, well, now that's sinking its way towards us. Here's a look at your Paul Davis Restoration Home Remodel and Extended Forecast. Rain on Halloween, cold after that.
Thank you, Paul, and thank you for joining us here for Coast TV News at 11. For more news and local weather, download our Coast TV News app. The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon is up next. We'll see you tomorrow for Coast TV News at 5 a.m. Have a great night.